I'm Pastor Matt, and this is the EMBER Exchange. So whether we're talking about something from our church, something from the Bible, or interviewing a guest, we'll do it unrushed, one puff at a time, the same as the best way to enjoy a cigar. Today I want to start by telling you a story that I heard about three guys in a boat. So there's these three guys in a boat, and the engine fails, and they're just out floating around in the lake. They were fishing. So the first guy jumps out of the boat to swim to shore to go get help, and he makes it about 6 feet, and then he sinks and drowns. The second guy says, well, I'm a better swimmer than he is. I'm going to do it. So the second guy jumps out of the boat, and he swims and swims and swims, and he gets about halfway to the shore, and he sinks and drowns. And so the third guy is he's out there floating around by himself, and he's like, all right, well, I guess I better go. So he jumps out of the boat, and he swims, and he makes it 6 feet from the shore, and then he sinks and drowns. And so the question is, which one's the better swimmer? It doesn't matter. All three of them drown. So which one's the better swimmer is irrelevant. And that kind of put me on a track thinking about something that we do in our walk with Christ in our life as Christians. We strive so hard for perfection that our trying to be perfect becomes the enemy of what we can become. This seek for flawlessness kind of becomes our enemy because it can lead us to paralysis, where we kind of stop studying and we kind of stop praying because I'm not good enough at understanding it, or my prayers aren't good enough, and so we just don't even try. And it gives us a just distorted view of grace, where we start to focus on how good we can become, and it takes our focus off the grace and forgiveness that God has for us through Christ, and kind of puts our focus on our human works and what we can accomplish. And unfortunately for many Christians, it kind of fosters either shame, where they get just buried in their guilt because they don't feel that they're good enough, or for people who do really develop a strong walk with God, it kind of develops a sense of pride, which also is not the right direction. And so this seek for flawlessness can so often just become a real obstacle to any real spiritual growth that we can have. Because at the end, that's what we really need to focus on, is our growth. And, as a believer, as a follower of Christ, as a Christian, how was I yesterday, and what can I do today to be a little bit better? And taking the blinders off of perfection, and paying attention to who we are and where we were and where we're trying to go, and that growth is what matters, and that there is only one perfect, and that is God, and that perfection is unattainable, and it's about progress, not perfection. And that led me to a verse in chapter 1 of Philippians, where it's literally talking about us and our spiritual growth and Christ in us. And the verse says, he who began a good work in you will complete it in the day of Jesus Christ. The only time we will ever achieve a state of perfection as a believer is at the gathering together, and when we're able to lay aside the natural man that we battle every day. And so I just wanted to kind of put that out as a word of encouragement, that perfection can quite frankly become an enemy to our growth, because it creates stumbling blocks that we can get hung up in, that stop us from actually experiencing any real growth. My word to you would just be not to focus on your flaws and your errors and the things that we are not good at, but rather to focus on growth and just being just a little bit better every day. Until next time, keep your cigar lit, keep your fire burning, and remember to send us your burning questions.